welcome back to the Fraud Street Fandom Podcast. This week we'll be covering NFL Week 5 as well as the wild card round of the MLB playoffs. For this episode, I will be enjoying one of the staples on the podcast, a 30-minute IPA. Pretty tasty. It's one of my go-tos, especially in the summer. Cam, what you got?
I got this really sweet mug here. If you guys can see and read at home, 2025 Fantasy Baseball Champion. Inside of it is a 30-minute IPA. So.
Nice. Show off the front of it. So if you guys haven't put 1-2 together, we had the Fantasy MLB playoffs ended last week.
Yep.
Cam, you got into a battle with one of our elite listeners, Kev. Yep. You want to give us a breakdown of how...
It wasn't very close. It was 6-2 was the actual matchup, but he had me in runs by 1 home run. We tied RBIs. I had him by 5 stolen bases, had 241 average. He had 233. I had, 22 more innings pitched than he did. So my strategy of fantasy baseball is to stack a lot of pitchers and don't have a lot of batters. So one, you don't have to worry about setting your lineup with your offense. You can just kind of leave it as is. So I had 3 wins. He had 1. I had 70 Ks. He had 40. I had a 3.53 ERA. He had a 5.01. I had a 1.12 WHIP. He had a 1.33, and then we tied for saves and holds at 3.
Gotcha.
So,
well, congrats. Cheers on the W.
Very good win.
We'll look forward to next year starting that up again. So if anybody's interested in joining the Fantasy Baseball League and taking that, well, we'll say a new sweet trophy, feel free to reach out to us. And then Brock, what do you got?
I'm drinking Miller Lite.
Oh, there you go. Change from Mountain Dew.
Yeah. I'm back drinking.
Good. Welcome to Philadelphia.
Yep.
So as we mentioned, MLB playoffs just started today, actually. So I guess getting into the remainder of the season, when we last talked, we had 6 games left, 3 against the Marlins and 3 against the Twins. We were able to take 4 out of 6.
Yep.
So nothing too noteworthy. We did have a shot at the number 1 seed against with the Brewers, but we fell short. I think the loss to the Marlins in the first game, obviously hurt us, and then losing the game against the Twins kind of just solidified. Good notes to take out of Nola. Had another
dominant,
really good pitching outing. I question with as many players that the Twins got rid of. All right, what's the caliber of hitters you're going up against? But at least he's going into the playoffs on a high.
Yeah.
I guess the other good addition was Trey Turner came back. So he did play the Sunday game. Nothing noteworthy, nothing great, but at least he was able to get out there on the field and play.
Yeah.
The playoff standings as of right now, we ended up 1 game behind the Brewers. They did have the tiebreaker on us, so we did have to win by a full game. So your NL rankings, you have the Brewers as the 1 seed, Phillies as the 2, Dodgers, who won the West, as a 3, and then your 3 wild cards would be your Cubs as the 4, Padres as a 5, and then the Reds as the 6 seed.
So that go Reds.
Yeah, that was pretty exciting going into the weekend. I think we kind of forecasted that when we talked last.
Yeah.
Of you had the Diamondbacks, the Mets, and the Reds all fighting for that final wild card spot. So I don't know how much of it was the Reds won or more of the Mets
lost it.
Collapsed. Especially being that they had the best record in baseball for a period of time, and they just completely fell off. So as Phillies fans and people that hate the Mets, we love to see it.
Love to see it.
Still got to handle our business, but we do.
We do, but at least we don't have to worry about the mutts, as we should say. Excited for the Reds to get in. Knocks the Cubs out, but that leads into our upcoming series. Obviously, we have this bye. And the Dodgers and Reds are facing off in the first round. So we'll see kind of how that all falls, but we'll get into our breakdown a little bit later. So going into the AL, the Blue Jays are actually the 1 seed, which I think took everybody by surprise, especially just based on our preseason predictions.
Yeah.
Seattle, which is another surprise team, got the other bye as a 2 seed. And then you had the Guardians as the Central winner, coming back from, I think we said it in the last episode, 15 games.
15 games.
15 games back to take the division from the Tigers, which
Yeah.
is crazy. I mean, you talk about the Mets' downfall. The Tigers
completely blew it.
Yeah.
They were leading the league with wins throughout most of the year.
Yeah. There was a time where we were contending with them too, and they were still way up on us also.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's just crazy that we talk about it. Playing good baseball at the right time, can feed into maybe these, playoff series going one way or the other.
Yeah.
Yankees as the 4, Red Sox as the 5, and then as we mentioned, the Tigers, they did hang on to the wild card spot of being the 6th seed.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where I guess getting into our potential matchup, the Phillies having the bye, they had the bye last year, came out, offensively, let's say lackadaisical.
Yeah.
So they're gonna do a intra-squad game today or tomorrow.
Wednesday.
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
So they opened it up to the fans, which I thought was pretty cool. $10 for tickets if you want to go watch it, and all the proceeds go to the Phillies auctions, which is awesome.
They sold like almost 30,000.
Yeah. That's really cool. So I guess the question is one game enough? I mean, these guys are playing 3 before they come into 2 or 3.
They had a workout again today, so they were out on the field doing drills and shit. But I mean, nothing's going to compare to like the real live baseball games, right? Like you have opponents that are coming in there, you have the fans that are actually going ape shit in Philly. So we'll see. I mean,
maybe opening it up to the fans might, add a little. They might get juiced up and just excited to be there. So
I think they did the scrimmage last year as well, but it wasn't open to the fans.
That's what I mean. I've never really heard of a team allowing fans to be in during the scrimmage. They've always done the scrimmage thing, but I've never seen where they're like, "Yeah, come on, like come watch it." I'm like, "What are we doing?"
Yeah, so we'll see. Hopefully, they can keep the bats rolling. Schwarber had a good week. Cassidy had the game-winning hit Sunday, so that's good to see him back out there and actually produce and have that moment, right? So hopefully, he can kind of see the field more and get back out there. So.
Like earn your spot, which I think is nice to see because I mean we said it before. Last year, him and Harper were the only guys that actually batted well in the playoff round with the Mets. So now that you're competing and you're doing this platoon in the outfield and you're basically performing for your playing time. Coming up clutch in those moments, that's going to keep you in the lineup. So as a $25 million player, $30 million player, it's like, all right, buckle up. Do it. So
now's the time.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I hope we all hope he does, but I hope he does.
Yeah.
It's been rough to watch him not being able to play every day like he was.
Yeah.
And like we said before, too, he's not really been the same Nick that we thought we paid for.
He hasn't performed and he lost his job to Kepler. I mean, once you go and get Bader in, he's playing really well. Morris has been playing well. Kepler's been playing better. So, Cassidy, unfortunately.
Which I'm happy for Kepler, too. I'm not, I'm not saying I'm like, oh, man, it's just because he was abysmal. He was Whit Merrifield for a while. And then he was like, hey, I figured something out. I'm like, okay,
sometimes all it takes is a little competition between players to, get that production out of it. And, sometimes guys get complacent of, I'm the $25 million guy. It's my spot.
And it says we would never hear what he says, but apparently he says stuff and pisses people off. But we don't get to hear a lot of that.
So I honestly think this is going to be his last hurrah as a Philly. I think they're going to this offseason find a way. Either they eat a lot of his money that's left or they find a trading partner. They do something.
It's going to happen because of how much we owe Schwarber. That's part of why too, I think.
Yeah, I mean that's also it. I think a lot of these players and their contracts, what happens next year is dictated off of how they perform this year.
Yeah.
So if we go one and done again, I think they're probably going to be more likely to blow it up completely. And let's just retool with other players. If they do go in a run and maybe they get back to the World Series and they lose game 6 or 7, kind of what they did a couple of years ago, maybe it makes sense to, all right, let's try to run it back with some of these guys and add more pieces to it. But, I mean, we'll see like kind of how that all breaks down just based on, this performance. But, we talked about predictions and kind of what we did back in the preseason. And, we went through and we actually did the math to kind of see, hey, how close were we? How far off were we? So just going based off of records, we just threw, numbers out early on in the year, what we forecasted, and
a lot of them probably didn't even make sense. We just hopefully had the math right.
Yeah, I mean, I think everything added up to 162, except for I think one of ours, kind of the math was screwed up.
Yeah, I got a little weird on mine sometimes. I think I left out like 30 games, but
So I did a breakdown of within 2 games of their record projections. So what they actually ended up at and what we all ended up, guessing. So of that, I ended up getting 5 of them within 2. So the one that I got correct was the Padres record. Giants, I was 1 off. Angels, I was 1 off, and the Guardians, I was 2 off. So did okay. I mean, just throwing a dart at the wall and kind of figuring it out. So, but I didn't do as well as you guys. So, yeah, Cam, you ended up getting 6 of them within that 2-game window that we were looking at. So you were off by the Red Sox by 1 game, Royals 1 game. You nailed the Angels. You nailed the Giants. You were 1 game off of the Padres and 2 off the Cardinals. So pretty good job there guessing. The one you missed by a lot, which is crazy, was the Mets, like 43 games.
Yeah, but they still missed the playoffs. So I was still technically right.
There you go. And then Brock, actually, you did the best out of all of us. You got 7 of them correct. So you got the Guardians correct, 2 off the Tigers. The West, you actually were damn near close. It was 2 off on the Astros, Mariners, and Athletics. And then you were 1 off on the Nationals and 2 off on the Giants. So, yeah, hopefully we can improve on those for next year when we do our preseason predictions. But
I've never had to do preseason predictions like that. So just doing that based off that, I'm like, hey, I
think
did
it was the first time for all of us.
Yeah.
We popped our cherry, as they would say. So getting into we obviously predicted kind of the playoff rankings as well. So just going down, I went down the list of the teams that made the playoffs. Of the 12, I ended up getting 7 correct. The seeding wasn't correct for many of them. I think I had 1 right. I had the Padres in the 5 seed, and that's where they ended up. But 3 of them in the AL, and then I got 4 in the NL. Cam, you ended up getting 8 out of 12. You had 3 in the AL and 5 in the NL. The only NL team you missed was the Braves, which I think we all missed.
We all had them in the division. So.
And then Cam, you also had the Guardians and the Padres in the correct positions of 3 and 5. Brock, you as well, also had 8 out of 12. You had all of the AL teams but the Royals.
Yeah.
And then you had 3 out of 6 in the NL. And then position wise, you didn't have any of them in the correct position, but still 8 out of 12's pretty good.
So pretty good. So I'll take that. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's get into it. I mean, we have wild card week. Before the next time we talk, we're going to know who we're playing. So we're going to go through the predictions. Let's start off with the game that happened earlier today. So we're kind of already waited a little bit, and the Guardians and Tigers opened up the wild card, let's say, playoffs. Close game, came down to basically some base running errors in the bottom of the 9th.
Yeah.
So Scooble deal. It was funny. I was talking to a buddy of mine earlier, and we talk about how like manufacturing runs and playing small ball, it's kind of a thing of the past, but some teams do it.
Yeah.
And like if you look at this game, I think 2 of the runs were unearned. So it's just errors. And then the run that the Tigers produced was off a small ball. They had a runner at third, they bunted him in, you're up 2-1.
Yeah.
So you have bottom 9, Jose Ramirez is up against their closer, and he hits a sharp ball right up the middle. Baez makes a great play on it, throws the ball to first. First baseman boots it, and it just so happened to hit Jose Ramirez while he was running through first. So he basically boots the ball down the right field line, and he continues to run over to third. So now you have a runner at third. It's 2-1 and no outs. The next guy comes up, he strikes out, and then what you would think would happen is, okay, let's lay down a bunt here, try to get him in, sacrifice yourself to get the run to tie the game.
Yeah.
The next guy comes up swinging, hits a little ground ball right back to the pitcher. Jose's off the bag, basically running on contact, and he gets, basically in a run down it gets out. So now you go from having a runner at third with no outs to a runner at first and 2 outs.
Yeah.
And then I think it was like maybe the next pitch the guy pops out. So, when it comes to playoff baseball, I think manufacturing runs and playing that small ball is key because you're going up against top pitching. And you're going to go up against, you have to get every opportunity that you can. And the one thing that I know the Phillies always tend to struggle with is runners in scoring position.
Yeah.
So
and base running.
And base running too. Yeah.
They like to run into outs all the time.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I think we have to be smart, certainly. And I think this is the moment where, every mistake is amplified.
Yeah.
So as we mentioned, Guardians and Tigers. Tigers take game 1. However, I still have the Guardians winning this series. I think them being at home, getting it like if you're going up against Scooble, you're probably going to say, okay, let's chalk this up as a loss, but we'll come back and get it the next 2.
Yeah.
Hopefully they learn from the mistakes that they had today of, okay, let's actually manufacture some runs, especially when we have these opportunities. So, but I think the biggest key is them going to be them playing at home. So I have the Guardians here.
Yeah, I have the Guardians as well. Again, kind of like we just said, right? Like Scooble going against him, he's very tough. He's probably one of the best, if not the best pitcher in baseball right now. So you chalk game 1 up as a loss, but then you have the next 2, you got to win.
Mm-hmm.
With the way the Tigers finished the year, I felt like that's why that you got to go with the Guardians at this point, right? Just in the recent 2 weeks, 3 weeks that they had, the Guardians playing good ball, Tigers were not playing good ball.
Right.
Carrying into the playoffs, you want to see the Guardians continue to play good ball, but like you were mentioning, they ran into some errors. So we'll see, but I still think they got this series.
Mm-hmm. Brock, what do you think?
I also have the Guardians winning regardless of what happened. I mean, Scooble, you just expect that from him, but 14 strikeouts is insane.
Yeah.
But to have your best runner on third, your best player on third, and to screw up like that, it was like, ugh, but you gotta expect they're gonna score more than 1 run. So I feel like they're gonna figure it out. Like I said, they've been the hotter team. The Tigers have to be on edge every moment because they blew the division lead and being as good as they were all year. So I have the Guardians winning regardless of what happened in that game today.
Yep. And they got to win the next 2. I mean, it's good on the Tigers because how much of that, like going into Cleveland and saying we already blew the division lead to this team, we're going to have to get on the right foot. Like if we lose game 1, it's like what's in our head now, like of actually trying to compete in this series. So the fact that they were able to take game 1 with a Scooble outing and great outing. So, like I said, I still think the Guardians are going to be able to hang on. So the next next game we had today, it was Padres Cubs. Padres got out to an early lead, and the Cubs answered back with a couple solo home runs,
back-to-back home runs.
Yeah, and then they were able to hang on for the win. So for this series, I just think a lot of this is going to go based off of, or my predictions are going to go based off of the home team.
Yeah,
I just think playing at home, we know what it's like being in Philly and playing at home. It just adds an extra level of let's say it's an extra advantage.
Yeah. You get the crowd behind your back, everyone's there. It's playoff baseball, it means something now.
Yeah.
You get 40, 50,000 fans, depending on what stadium you're in. They're all cheering for you. There's not many, fans from away teams that are traveling for these series.
Right.
Middle of the day, which is kind of tough.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think this was a 3 o'clock Eastern start.
Yeah.
Cubs playing 2 o'clock in Central. But, going against the Padres, that's, 2 more hours back from where they're used to be playing. So definitely a little bit of an advantage there with having the home field, but we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I mean, so for this one, I'm gonna take the Cubs in this series. I just think that having that crowd behind them, and I think they have a really good defense up the middle, and then also the bats. I mean, if they're cooking on the bats, they're hard to beat.
Yeah, Tucker's finally healthy again. He spent a lot of time on the IL in the second half of the season for him. So if he can get going again, if he can get the bat going, that'd be huge for them. I actually have the Padres winning this one. I just think the Padres have that experience. Machado is a hell of a ball player. Tatis is a damn good ball player. Darvish pitched well today. Like you said, the 2 home runs they had.
Mm.
I think it was only 3-1 was the final, so it's not even like they gave up a lot. They got a really good bullpen. Mason Miller was absolutely lights out in September. I think his like opponent's batting average was 0.21
Mhm.
or something crazy. He had like
Yeah.
26 Ks in 12 innings. So if they get a lead, I think that their bullpen's locked down.
Yeah. No, I
And
agree
that's
with
where I
that.
think that
Their
the
bullpen is
Padres
one of
are
the best.
probably going to be able to take this series. But, Cubs already at one. So
Yeah.
Padres got to win the next two.
So I also have the Padres winning. It was actually Pavetta who started today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. Not the
I was like, yeah. So they have Cease going for the next game. I feel like, because the Cubs also lost their starter. What's his name? Damn it, he's on the 15 with a rib injury. He was their best starter down the stretch. Um,
Yeah. I can't think of it's a
yeah,
short last name.
yeah, it's starts with a H, I think. I just literally had it in my head. I can't think of his name. But yeah, today, I mean, Pavetta pitched well until the 2 home runs, and the bullpen for the Cubs just shut him out. But I think the Padres have a better offense altogether.
Yeah.
Like it's just, I feel like they should just take care of the next 2 games, especially when they get home for their last game.
Yep. Little ex-Philly action with Pavetta.
Yeah.
Mhm.
He's bounced around a little bit, but he tends to find himself in some big games and still pitching well. So while we're recording right now, we have the Yankees Red Sox. I think a few of us had this as a matchup. I think Cameron, you had this as a matchup going into the playoffs.
Yeah.
On your predictions, Yankees Red Sox is always one of those matchups that people love to see.
It's historic. Yeah.
Back,
Yeah. The
back to
rivalry.
the early 2000s, where the Yankees couldn't lose and the Red Sox were that lovable loser.
Yeah.
And then ever since they haven't lost a series to them. So it's one of those things where there's a bitter rivalry here. The fans hate each other. The teams hate each other. I don't know how much nowadays as opposed to back in the early 2000s, but yeah, I'm going to go with the home team again. I'm going to go with the Yankees.
Yeah, I think the Yankees are going to take this one as well. I know Boston they started out pretty well, then they fell off, and then they started making a run again late in the year. I just think the Yankees, Judge, that guy is incredible at baseball.
Mhm.
I think Grisham had over 30 home runs for them this year. Just kind of came out of nowhere. Goldschmidt's playing good ball again. So I think that the Yankees got enough offense to win this series.
Yeah.
But they're doing this all without Garrett Cole too, right? Like Max Fried had a hell of a year for them. That was a big pickup.
Yeah.
Paid him a ton of money and he produced, right? I think he's probably going to finish like second or third in the Cy Young, probably behind Skubal.
Hmm.
But yeah, Fried had a great year. He's pitching well tonight against the Red Sox. So yeah, we'll see.
So I'm riding the hot hand of the Red Sox.
Okay.
I have them winning that. I thought, well, while we're filming Crochet, besides he's still doing what I would expect. He's still
Yeah, he's
pitching
doing it. He's
dominant.
dirty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I thought, again, like I figured the matchup with Freed obviously being like, it's going to come down to later in the game. I thought these two are just going to be lights out the whole way. But I just don't know if the Yankees have enough, but besides Judge, like I know we said, but I think just coming down to this point of the season, it's basically just going to be how far does they go as far as he goes.
Yeah.
And I think the Red Sox have just a little more like adhesiveness together. Like they're just gonna they make less mistakes because Volpe and so I have the Red Sox winning.
Gotcha. So
I
actually
just like them the hot hand. So
looking back to our predictions, I had the Yankees Red Sox lining up in the division round. You both had them in the wild card round. And Brock, you stuck to your gun. No, you didn't. You flip flopped. You had the no, you didn't. You had the
no, yeah.
Red Sox. Yeah, I'm getting them mixed up here.
I flip flopped.
Oh, and then
My
Cameron, you also
preseason, I had
yeah.
Red Sox in the World Series.
And I'm
And
sorry, Brock, you had them in the division series too.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you had the Royals as the 5. So
Yeah, I got that wrong. Yeah.
yeah, but you had the Red Sox. You had the Red Sox in the World Series. Cameron, you also had the Red Sox in the
Yeah,
World
we were
Series.
table mates
So,
had this.
yep. But yeah, Cameron, you flip flopped.
Buddy.
Obviously, based on what happens during the regular season.
yeah,
And I had the Yankees in the World Series. So I'm gonna stick with the Yankees there. And then the matchup later tonight. A big matchup for us. We
yeah,
get the winner of this one, Dodgers and Reds. In LA, as much as I would love to play the Reds, I don't see them beating the Dodgers. I guess one thing that I wanted to point out is the way the Dodgers kind of organize their starting rotation.
Yeah.
So they're starting off with Snell, game 1 against the Reds. Then they're going to Yamamoto, and then game 3, if necessary, would be Shohei.
Yeah.
So if they're able to take the first 2, Shohei would then, face us game 1. So I mean, obviously we just played the Dodgers a couple weeks ago. We were able to take 2 or 3 from them. Blake Snell looked really good against us. Shohei looked really good against us.
Ohtani looked really good too.
Until we were able to get to the bullpen.
Yep.
I think that they have struggles in their bullpen.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the mentality, if we are going to face the Dodgers, is we need to make sure that we're taking pitches, working counts, get these guys' pitch count up to where we can get into that bullpen faster than we, would normally would.
Yep.
So with that said, again, I think I saw a stat somewhere where the Reds didn't have any good stats based on like whether it's pitching, hitting. They didn't have a 25 plus home run hitter. They didn't have anybody batted over 220. They didn't have, a pitcher that, had so many wins. Like they were basically a mediocre team that just found their way into the playoffs. And I think that's kind of what you get when you expand the playoffs to this type of, format.
Yeah. And I mean, if you look at the NL, like their division, right? Like the Pirates and Cardinals weren't good. So if you're playing them, you can beat up on them and you can prop yourself up. The Cubs had a bad stretch in September. So the Reds, I think, took some games from them to kind of position themselves. And then along with the Mets falling apart.
Yeah.
It
kind of opened it up for the Diamondbacks and the others. I mean, I think a lot of our predictions had the wins at 92 or whatever, especially in the wild cards to get in. And, they make it in with a 88. I think it was 88 that they ended up with.
The Reds was like 84.
I think they had 83.
Oh, it was 83. 83, yeah. So
because they tied the Mets.
Yep. So, but yeah, with an expanded playoff, obviously you're going to run into the circumstances of, it's going to come down to, you might get some 500 teams basically in. But yeah, I'm going to take the Dodgers here. I just think they have too much for the Reds at this point, plus playing at home.
Yeah, I'm going Dodgers as well. Their lineup, you got 3 MVPs at the top: Betts, Ohtani, Freeman. In any order, I think it's actually Ohtani leading off, then Betts probably 2, and then Freeman 3 or 4. So yeah, I think the Dodgers, they're just a better baseball team than the Reds right now, right? And it's not like they weren't playing good ball at the end of the year.
Yeah.
So I think the Dodgers are going to be. This should probably be over in 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, I based it in, I just was like, the Dodgers just way better than them. Like, the Reds, they only really got in because of how bad the Mets collapsed.
Yep.
They didn't really do anything spectacular, like run or anything of wins. They just did what they had to do in those last 2 days, and the Mets didn't. So
Yep. Yeah. Well, hopefully they can take one. So
let them beat up on each other a little bit. Yeah.
They have to go through their pitching staff, or at least
let Ohtani pitch game 3.
Yeah, exactly. And we can start off with, I don't know, the 4th starter is.
I think Sasaki might be coming back. I don't know if they pulled him, if they activated him for the playoff roster, but I know he was getting close to come back at the end of the year.
He did some bullpen at the end of the year. Yeah.
Yeah, he came back. I think the last week or so, he had like 1 appearance or 2 appearances out of the bullpen. But
gotcha. Yeah. So that's kind of what we're seeing out of the wild card week. Like I said, we start back up on Saturday. I guess the game will either be at 1:00 or 7:00. So I think it is dictated by who they get. I mean, if it's the Reds, then more than likely it might be at 1:00.
Yeah, that'll be an early game.
If it's the Dodgers, they're going to put us in that 7:00 spot. So hopefully, like we mentioned, the Reds can put a game there. And maybe they do win too, and we're facing off against the Reds. And other than Ellie De La Cruz, I'm not sure. And Hunter, I'm not sure if I know many players on that team.
What's the young kid? Abbott, the pitcher, Abbott, I believe was his last name. He had a really good year, like kind of came on strong this year. So yeah, that's all I really know about their team.
I did see Austin Hayes is in the cleanup spot.
Oh yeah, that'll be lovely to see.
That's a deadly lineup right there. He's in there.
Yeah.
Yep. So all right, well, moving over into NFL. So we just got finished up with week 4. Eagles played the Bucks. I was certainly not high on this game. I thought we were going to lose it. In pretty convincing fashion.
Tried our best.
We did try our best. So It seems like this year the offense has been a tale of two halves
Yeah.
in any game that you go into. Back to the Dallas game. First half, we're moving the ball. Dallas moving the ball. It looks like it's going to be a shootout. Second half, nobody can.
Yep.
So, and then you go into, just last week, same kind of thing. It's like the offense can't do anything in a half, and then they finally do enough to where they can get the
In
win.
the second
So,
half. Yeah.
very similar to this one, except they started out
Yeah.
on fire. Big pump block, return back for a touchdown. So that's like basically back to back special teams plays when
I think they said 3 in a row because it was 2 field goals blocked at the end of the Rams,
Yeah.
and then the punt block for the first punt from the Bucks. So 3 straight special team blocks in a row.
Yep. So
That's
that's
crazy.
That's impressive. Obviously it gets you right on because we don't know what we're gonna see at the offense.
Right.
So to be able to stop Baker early, put 7 on the board before the offense even gets out on the field,
Yeah.
that's tremendous.
Take the home crowd out of it for a minute. Like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, even though it was basically taken over by Philly fans anyway.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was pretty good.
But it's they were able to put some drives together. They got creative, especially in the red zone. A couple shuffle passes to Goddard for some touchdown scores.
Yeah.
So they ended up defense looked good too. I don't want to undermine that at all. Like I think the defense played very well all around. They got beat on. We'll get to it in the second half, but
Yeah.
they got beat on a couple broken plays. But for the most part, I think the defense did very well.
Yeah.
So they held the Bucks at half. Score was 24-6. So they held them to 2 field goals, and I think those 2 field goals, one was a 65 yarder,
Yep.
and then the other one was a 56 or 58 yarder.
Yeah. 58, I believe.
58. So those most times are punts, or they're just trying to throw fourth quarter, or Hail Marys up just to see if they can get points. So all in all, in the first half, it looked like a dominating,
Yeah, they looked like they were going to blow them out, and then they just didn't show up in the second half.
Here comes the second half.
But I mean, I did see that they were talking about the kickers, right? So you're starting to see these field goals be made a lot further than they typically are. Like a 60-yarder is pretty much automatic anymore, which is wild. But I think they were saying that the teams actually have the full week that they can bring their own kicking balls, so they can work them in better to where they have more comfort of what's actually the ball they're going to be kicking.
Yep.
And also, like, if you look at the kickoff rules, like they're starting on almost the 30-yard line every drive, as opposed to previously it was at the 20.
Mhm.
So all you really need is 30 yards and you're in field goal range.
You're in field
right?
goal range, right?
So it's a lot of field goals have been happening this year,
Mhm.
and you again like you see the ones that are over 60 plus like kind of become more automatic, or those 58 yarders or anything over 55 or something. The kickers are just on their shit right now.
Yeah,
And
Fangio actually pointed that out earlier today. He said something about, they changed the kicking rules to where, they do have the ability to work with the balls all week up till it used to be where the refs would, they would have them before the game. You wouldn't see them and that's it.
Yep.
So now they're able to kind of, I don't know, maybe deflate gate them or, just
just work them
break them in,
Yeah.
whatever they're doing. But it's clear. I mean, you have guys that have been in the league, they're 40 plus years old, kicking 65-yard field goals, setting records. And, these guys weren't even making those when they were in their prime.
Yeah.
So,
and then the preseason, the guy made a 70-yarder.
Yeah. Well, I know Aubrey's going to make a 70-yarder.
Yeah. It's just when's the opportunity, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, right after a kickoff, probably.
Yeah, exactly.
So that guy's just nuts.
Yeah. And I know McAfee had talked about it years back about like the Super Bowl kickoff. Like, he was lucky enough to kick off the one year that they went. And he was saying like that ball is just so hard. So like you're almost always going to bet the like no touchback on the first Super Bowl like kickoff. But now you're starting to see the kickoffs kind of be a thing, or touchbacks be a thing on the kickoff. So,
kickoffs are just crazy now this year. We saw that a couple games ago where our guys,
the Rams,
have the Rams kicker comes out here and he puts these knuckleballs up, and it's not evident on the TV when you're watching it at home. But when you look at like it, the head-on view. When you're looking at it, you see the ball actually knuckle. Like I can understand why the hell they're not catching this thing.
You're like, oh shit, I'm about to drop this fucking thing. Like, hold on.
Well, you don't know where it's going.
I gotta lock in a little bit. Yeah, right.
Just imagine like you see the knuckleball pitchers.
Yeah,
like
right. Panic mood.
And it's like you see him in the ball, you literally can't guess like where it's going. You have catchers that are wearing first baseman gloves.
Yeah,
like these guys have no idea where it's going. They've never seen it before. So, they've definitely done some different things, especially in the kicking, in regards to the kicking.
Yeah.
But those long field goals, it's definitely going to change kind of like how everybody schemes things up too, and like on the defensive side as well as the offensive side. So,
yeah.
But as we mentioned, the second half, we were hoping that they were going to come out and just dominate this team, which would have been good to see because that was I thought it was one of our biggest challenges up this early part of the year. I think
Yeah.
in our early year predictions, I had them losing this game as well, just
Same.
because Todd Bowles, Baker, but whatever Bowles did in the second half, he was sending different pressure. He was sending something that Jalen just couldn't pick up, or the offensive line couldn't pick up. They couldn't move the ball at all.
Lane going out again.
Lane went out again, which is also kind of concerning. This is back-to-back stingers.
Yeah.
The offensive line just doesn't look the same anyway. Like, I know Dickerson was hurt in preseason,
Even if he's still fully
I don't think
back
he's
from
fully
that or not.
healthy.
Steen went out for a little
Steen
bit.
went out, yeah, but they just don't look like they're the same dominant force that they were last year.
Yeah.
That's
And I think that
missing his
but
every week shows.
no, I mean, if you look at it this way, it's like, all right, you have Cam Jurgens, and then your whole right side of the line is either hurt with, Johnson, or you have Becton that's gone. So what you had last year is not there at all.
Yeah.
But how much of that is, impacting the running game? I mean, at this point, Saquon's longest run of the year, 4 weeks in, is 10 yards.
Yeah, he's getting bottled up, and they can't get the running game going. They tried. It's not like they weren't giving him carries, right? They just aren't producing like they used to. So maybe the defense has figured out something with the O line.
Or the O line's just not playing that well. I've heard Mailata come out and say that, last year we were making those big blocks to kind of spring him, and this year it seems like we're missing them. Like, just one block here or there, which is all you need to, take a 5 or 6 yard carry into, 30, 40 plus.
Yeah.
They're just not getting those blocks right now. And I think it's also dictating, like, the offense too. I mean, if you look at, or the passing game more so, if you look at Jalen, doesn't look like he has a lot of time at all anyway. Like, he hikes the ball, and next thing you know, like after his first read, he's already stepping up in the pocket and kind of going left or right, whichever's kind of open to him, to where, that's dictating what the play should be. So I don't know. Well, hopefully we can get some sort of offensive line help, and whether it's the running game, the passing game, but something's got to give here. And I don't necessarily want to give all the blame to Jalen. I know I tend to try to, just based on what kind of quarterback I think he is.
And there's some kind of scheming not going right, because if you're calling better plays too, that should open up guys to be found. But if they're not being found, if they are open, then that's a whole other issue too. But you can't force it to people, so you gotta just kind of look around and see. But I think they try to set it up for AJ so much, which obviously is like, get him the ball if he's open. But I think they try that, and then the play calling just has nothing else. Or they try to do the little screen plays, and I'm like, what are we doing? That's not going to get him anywhere. It just gets him a catch, but there's no way to get any yards after it.
Yeah.
I feel like it was a lot of like curl, like shallow routes that they were trying last week, and they were just getting stopped. Like, they just weren't getting, like, I think he had 7 targets or something like that.
For still only like 4 or 5 yards.
And even in the second half, I know he missed AJ on a couple long passes, and
they were out of bounds, just sailed over his head. Yep.
Is that Jalen missing the throws? Is that AJ not running the routes?
Yeah.
Like, Jalen's pretty good at long, especially the deep ball. So is there what's missing there? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the other highlight of, I guess, the second half is they didn't complete a pass. In the second half.
0 for 8.
0 for 8. And how can you win like that? But we say that, and like, you look at all of the games that they've won so far this year, they have been outperformed by every offense, but they still find ways to win.
I think we're the 3rd lowest offensive team in NFL, and we're 4-0.
Yeah. And it's one of those things where it's not, you can't continue to do that. This was exactly what we saw 2 years ago.
Yeah, exactly.
When they started out, 8-0 or 10-0, whatever, and then we went and played the Niners, and they basically just told everybody how to beat the Eagles, and we never were the same since.
That was a real belt to ass game there.
Oh yeah, 100%. So, but as we mentioned in the second half, obviously the offense did not show up, but the Buccaneers ones did. I think a lot of it was broken plays. I will give Baker credit here. The pass that he had to Ibuka was about the only spot you could throw it, because it was between 2 guys, and it just missed Makuba's hand.
Yeah.
So he breaks that for a 77-yard touchdown. At the time, you're thinking, okay, we're still up, 14
just go
or something
drive.
at that point. Yeah. It's like, all right, get the offense rolling. There was a big fumble. Bucky Irvin fumbled the ball. Jahad Campbell had a great game.
He did. He was all over the field.
He's a beast.
He's been like
really
for somebody that
impressed
fell
with
to
him.
us at 32, and he wasn't even supposed to be playing right now. He is overperformed as a rookie.
Yep.
He kind of somewhat rolls Bucky Irving up a little bit there with his ankle, and I think that might have kind of played a role in him fumbling. But big fumble there that turns into the tush push. No, it was a version of the tush push. So
fake.
Basically, it was a fake of the tush push. They pitched the ball out to Saquon, and he goes in untouched. For the touchdown. So
do we feel like we revealed that too early? Like being week 4, like we should have waited.
I'm
tried it all last year.
I know. Yeah.
But I'm fine with that because it's like, all right. So other than that one, right? Other than that one play, I mean, they didn't have the tush push at all.
Right,
Like
which
they
is
got in the
fantastic.
formation for just that one, and then no tush push. So
it's like, oh my god, we can do other stuff.
Yeah, but I love that they. So this might help spark the offense. Maybe of having those type of variations. You're not so much relying on like we were in the Chiefs game.
Yeah.
So that was good to see. It's good to see Saquon get in the end zone. Otherwise, it's typically a Saquon. It's usually a Jalen Hurts
first down.
Yeah. But it would be nice if Saquon actually could put a big game together. I don't know. He hasn't been impressive. Like I mentioned. Longest run prior to this year so far has only been 10 yards.
So he said he talked to like some former running back greats or whatever. He said he got some advice from Adrian Peterson. So I hope, as long as it wasn't parenting advice, I think he's okay. As long as it's only run game stuff. Like he just asked
Saquon.
He just asked him, "What do you want? What have you seen? Like, am I doing something wrong?" And he's just open.
He said that he was like telegraphing, like if it's a run or a pass.
Oh yeah, there was a video of
depending on what Saquon's doing, it's either that he's going to be run blocking or it's a run. So the defense is picking up on it. On kind of just like if you're reading a picture, right? Like if you see signs and stuff, like kind of what's coming.
Okay.
So they're able to kind of judge like, oh, this is going to be a run play, so we know that we can just stack the box and jump.
They said he would turn his head and would look to see if there was someone coming that he has to cover, and then if he was running, he just looked straight forward and wouldn't even move his head at all. And that's how you can tell what was going on. Yeah.
So we'll see. What they can do with it, but I mean, we need to get Saquon going.
Yeah, 100%.
Especially if we can't get AJ going.
I think he opens up the the passing game. I think the passing game also opens him up. So if we can get both of them, both of them going, it doesn't have to be 100%, but if we can get them both going 75%, I think that's going to push it even further to where now we can get everything going on all cylinders.
Yeah, and we see AJ with his 5 minutes after the game tweeting. So don't love that.
No.
But let's not because online you think that people have turned on this dude, and I'm like, relax.
Team,
like relax, guys. He's just frustrated. It's fine. It's fine to be frustrated. You maybe do it a different way. I agree with that. But
I mean, it's just like here we are again, right? Like it's always going to be something. But that's what you want out of your wide receiver one, right? Like you want him to be frustrated that he's not performing or not getting
contributing.
Exactly.
Not they like to say.
Yeah, that's correct. Not contributing as he's expected to or wants to himself, right? So we'll see if they can get him going. But I mean, Devontae hasn't either, right? Like
I mean, he only had 2 or 3 targets, I think.
Yeah, he didn't do much at all. So. I mean, last week it was a lot of Goddard.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think earlier in the year they even thrown to Dotson deep. Like, they're getting some other guys involved, which is nice to see. But it's also like we got these 2 guys out there, and I think that we talked about
they're highly paid too.
Yeah, is that you got to let those guys be guys, right? Like let them take over games. And unfortunately, we're not getting it done that way on the stat sheet, but we're still 4-0. So, it's hard to complain, right?
But it's what Philly fans do. It's like we got to figure. We always got to have something.
If it wasn't for 2 years ago, I think I'd feel different.
Yeah,
because 2 years ago it was the same kind of thing. Hey, nothing looks good right now. I mean, the only thing I'll say that looks different is I think our defense is a lot better than it was 2 years ago. But I would still like to see some sort of. I need a game where everything
just looks crisp the whole way. Yeah.
So I mean, we talked about Campbell. He had a great game. He did get burned on the one pass to Bucky Irving. Again, I think it was just broken coverage. He just goes out on the wheel. Yeah, and he got beaten. Again, I'll give Baker credit. He finds guys when he extends plays, and he put the ball right where it needed to be. So take away those 2 big plays, it was a dominating effort by the defense, honestly.
Yeah, Campbell had the pick in the end zone.
Yeah, it's a great play by Blankenship, kind of getting the pressure. Baker kind of rolls out. Who knows what that is if Blankenship, or who knows what happens if Blankenship doesn't get a finger on it. So he's able to tip it, and it kind of drops down. Campbell gets the interception in the end zone. Again, defense came up big when they needed to. So yeah, we'll see what they're able to do. They have, we talked about AJ's tweet and kind of what that's going to look like. I hate to say it, but it's like I don't think it's going to do. I don't think it's going to happen this year. But does that kind of forecast into next year? Of all right, this guy just continuously wants to cause drama. Do we look to let him go, trade him in the off season?
Yeah, I think it all kind of depends on the success of the year, right? Like if they turn it around and then he, is happy again, then obviously no reason to.
Right.
But I don't think anything's going to happen this year. I don't think they're going to move on from him. He means too much to the offense, even though he hasn't necessarily contributed again, like we just said.
Right.
But I think that he's just too much of a weapon and too much of a star that you
If
can
they
just let
did
him
that,
go.
I would be just as mad as McCoy being traded. Like I'd be pissed. I'd be like, "What the fuck are we doing?"
We have a 4-0 team.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah,
You're one of 2 teams in the NFL that are undefeated.
Yep.
You're positioning yourself well. I mean, if we just go down the NL contenders, I think the Lions are up there. The Lions, they've turned their offense on certainly over the last 2 games.
Right.
And then you have
Packers.
the Packers, but it's like you look at the Packers, they just lost to the Browns.
Cleveland, yeah.
They just played Dallas to a tie, and it's like Dallas's offense looks good. They do look
Without
good.
CD,
Yeah, they didn't have CD. The Dallas offense looked good. Their defense looks atrocious.
Yeah.
They can't stop. Like if you want to get the passing game going, that's the game where you get the goddamn passing game going because they can't stop anything that's over the top.
Yeah.
And then just going down the other teams that like the Vikings, they're already,
Carson
with a backup quarterback. The Commanders don't look like the Commanders of last year. I don't know how much of that is
their defense.
Jaden Daniels looking or being hurt and McLaurin being out. The defense. So, I mean, the competition and the
Rams, we
beat, but they're going to be there. They're going to be a tough team. That is a good team.
The Niners, if they can ever get everyone healthy, and I know Purdy just came back last week and they lost, but they're still a talented team.
Yeah.
So
I mean, these are the teams you're going to be competing with. Certainly, I think the Lions probably stand out to me as probably one of the best. But we have a matchup with them later this year. So hopefully we can, we talk about being on, firing on all cylinders. Certainly by that game we need to.
Yeah.
And, the next stretch that we have Denver coming up. We have 2 games with the Giants in 2 out of 3 weeks. Then we have Minnesota. So you have, Bo Nix, which is in his 2nd year. You have Jackson Dart, who just came in twice.
Yeah.
And you have Carson, potentially JJ. Between that. So there's a stretch there where you can certainly go 8-0.
Yeah.
Or get into an 8-0. And then I think you have the bye right after that, if I remember correctly. They could be 8-0 going into the bye. But, you very, very well hope that at least they're 7-1.
Yeah. And again, I think it's more just like also like even if they do find one loss out of there, but if it's like a 35-34, something crazy happened to where they ended up losing. But as long as like the offense like starts to show more promise, and the team can put together 2 actual halves together instead of the second half against the Rams and the first half against the Bucks.
Yeah,
that's the best they've looked all year. And it's just the other half of those games were just absolutely awful. So
yeah. So just going back over through like the week 4, results. You had the Seahawks. They beat the Cardinals 23-20.
That game was ugly, and then it got good late.
Yeah,
but it was an awful game to watch.
The Vikings lost to the Steelers. Carson had a productive
like
day,
350 or something, right?
Yeah, productive day, but he
2 picks.
At the end of the day, it's the picks that probably cost him the most.
But the Steelers did stupid on that because they went for it on that 4th down when they were up 2 scores. They were like, "Oh, we'll just go for it," and then they didn't get it. And then the Vikings, Vikings have like a 70-yard pass, and they're like, "Hold on a second, we might fucking blow this game." And then Carson did what he did, and it's like, "All right, never mind." Like
there should have been like 3 more interceptions on that final drive.
Mm-hmm.
But
we talked about the Commanders and their struggles so far. I don't think any of us saw that.
No.
So the Falcons beat them 34-27. This is coming off of the Falcons game where they lost to the Panthers and looked like complete trash.
Yep.
So that was
Bijan went the fuck off.
Yeah, well, it's I don't know, the game against Carolina, I'm like, "Would you just hand the ball off to
Yeah.
Yeah.
Penix can't throw
Bijan?"
it.
And it's
I
like
mean, they were
it
questioning
was
who to start quarterback after that game. They're like, "Who's gonna start?" And then now he
Yeah.
just does fine. I'm like,
but it was mostly, like, triggered because I had a bet on how many carries he would have, and I'm like, "Just hand the ball off to Bijan." It's like,
Okay.
you hand it off, he gets 8 yards, and you wanna pass it 3 times, and you can't pass the ball.
there's bets for how many carries they
Yeah.
get?
Yeah,
Oh,
you can
man.
bet
I
on
You
know,
can
I
bet just
know.
about anything,
I
but
try I'm still learning about that every week.
don't download the app.
Yeah,
It's
I'm
not good.
like, "What is happening?"
Um, Bills look impressive still, 31-19 against the Saints. I mean, we
Yeah.
They tried a
gotta
Philly
figure
special, it got picked off. That was stupid
I
on the
saw
Saints.
that,
Yeah, that
yeah.
was dumb, but
Lions, as we mentioned, look good. Browns offense just doesn't they can't get anything going, and
Yeah, well, quarterback change.
I said they're gonna change off of Flacco.
yeah, so they're going
Dillian
to Dylan
Gabriel.
Gabriel. Yeah. So we'll see. I just think they have a really good defense. I mean, it doesn't look like it with 34 points to the Lions, but I think that Lions offense is
Yeah.
probably one of the best we've seen in a while, especially over the last year and a half.
Mhm.
Patriots beat up on the Panthers 42-13. Big upset here. Giants probably knocked a lot of people out of their survivors
Yep.
against the Chargers.
Yeah.
Another team I've learned in years past never trust is
Yeah.
Chargers and Bengals. And Survivor, I'm never taking them
Yep.
just because they always tend to, find a way to knock me out.
Add the Packers to that list too.
Packers set list, okay, yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, Jackson Dart his first start. I guess some of the bigger news is Neighbors.
That
Yeah.
turf again of
Yeah.
that stadium.
Adele's
They need
asking
to
the
get
NFL.
they need to get rid of that damn stadium. One, it's like they already have too many home games there between the two teams.
Yeah.
And or get rid of the turf.
Get rid of the turf, yeah.
Yeah.
If they can have a grass field, they need it ASAP because that field is just tearing people's legs up.
Yep. Yeah. So Neighbors is out for the year with a torn ACL, which is unfortunate to see because he looks like
He's a nice
know,
player to watch every
he
week.
is. He
Yeah.
is. He's a good player. Reminds me a lot of Odell back in his early years.
Yeah.
Just being that type of receiver.
And even like a Jamar Chase. Like,
Yeah.
he's right up there with him, right? Like LSU guy.
Yep.
So we'll see. But I know we were hoping for our parlay, and you had a different bet with Scatabo.
Yeah.
So needed him to get in the end zone, but of course he couldn't find it there for us.
No,
But
yeah, he couldn't for us. We had some bets on some touchdowns and missed a few of them.
yeah,
But no, the Giants came away with a win there.
surprised everyone.
Yeah, I mean, they were getting pressure on Herbert, like I think you were saying, and
Yeah,
they just
Carter actually
couldn't get comfortable. So, um, as we talked about, Eagles were able to hang on 31-25 against the Buccaneers. Looked impressive early, not so much in the second half.
Yep.
Texans 26-0 over the Titans. Didn't see this one either. I think both of these teams.
Cam
are
Ward
bad.
said it himself. He said we're ass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
He's been very open
Yeah.
like that, how he said we're just bad.
I mean, he also like called himself out,
Yep.
so that's good. He's not just destroying his team, but he
Yeah.
also said it to himself. So I mean, that game, I don't think any of us were ever planning on watching that one.
No, but I thought it was going to be like 26 to
12.
18.
Yeah.
Cover the spread, but yeah, not good. Yeah, Rams over the Colts 27-20. This was a pretty good game to
That
watch.
rookie, man, Mitchell
Mhm.
had the touchback that would have been an 80-yard touchdown.
Yeah.
And then he had a holding call on Jonathan Taylor. Jonathan Taylor would have had like a 55-yard rushing touchdown. So he cost them 2 touchdowns.
Yep.
Ultimately, they ended up taking the L there.
And the crazy thing about the fumble that he had, what an amazing catch. Like,
it was incredible.
It was almost like he didn't know the ball was coming. The next thing you know, it's like in his
armpit.
Yeah. And he breaks a tackle, spins around, and
Gone.
it looked like he was showboating a little bit, but I don't know how much of it he was just losing the ball going in anyway.
Yeah, and he just lost it.
So, but yeah, that definitely hurt because that could have been a big win for the Colts, who still look good. I mean,
Yeah, they look good.
certainly
Oh, yeah,
look good.
just played a better team at
And
that point.
Puka is
He's a monster.
insane.
that dude's just on a different level anymore.
He is probably the best receiver in the league right now.
He's got to be up there. I mean, it obviously helps having Stafford, right? Like, Jamar Chase is probably the most talented, him and Justin Jefferson, but like their quarterback positions right now are not like Matt Stafford. So it helps having Stafford out there to be able to get him the ball. You have Devontae on the other side to open it up.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's definitely on like a hell of a pace. I think it's like 2,100 yards receiving or something. That's what he's on pace for.
Yeah.
Only
Even
4
more so-
touchdowns. But
Yeah, even more so, I think it's like if you look at it, he has 40 receptions this year.
yeah.
So that's absurd in itself.
It's like
So,
12 a game.
yeah.
I think he's had like 12 one game he had 13. Yeah, he's in over 10 every week. So
what I like about him most, I think, is like a lot of the catches that he's getting, they're well contested.
yeah,
So it's not just the ones that you're wide open and you're catching them. Like you have a guy in your back basically, or you have a window that there's 2 or 3 guys around you and you're coming away with it.
yeah, he's going up and getting it.
Yeah, no, he's been very impressive. You have Jaguars. They were able to beat the Niners, which I like to see, just based on NFC standings.
Still unexpected though.
It was unexpected.
Yeah.
I think we talked about the Niners are probably going to take advantage of the weakest schedule. Jaguars have played team stuff. They're 3-1 now too. So maybe they, especially in that division, you're competing with the Colts. Maybe they're gonna. I don't see the Texans or
the Texans just look bad, right?
Yeah.
Like I mean, obviously they
just played the worst team in the league,
but they don't look impressive at all. The Colts are surprising a lot of people the way they're looking right now.
Yeah.
So yeah, it'll be probably a tight division out of the AFC South.
Those two. Yep. Chiefs kicked the shit out of the Ravens.
That was surprising. We all picked Baltimore because I think we all kind of thought like the way the Chiefs have looked, they haven't looked good. They get Worthy back.
Yeah.
So he was back out there for Mahomes. Mahomes had 4 passing touchdowns first time
Mahomes looked great
a couple years.
Yeah.
And like they're back on it. And the Ravens, you can't be happy with how that team's performed. Like they're a couple plays away in each of those games that they could be
4-0, they could be 0-4.
Yeah.
Oh, probably 1-3.
Well, yeah, they're 1-3 because they beat the Browns. But so it's like they're a couple plays away from being like a 4-0, but they're 1-3, like we said.
Yeah.
And you lose Lamar for 2 to 3 weeks with a hamstring. I thought it was a fake injury. I thought it was like, hey, we're down by 24. Why put Lamar out there? But I guess he actually does have a hamstring injury. So
another person that I needed for touchdowns was Mark Andrews. And I was hopeful that Cooper Rush coming in because I was like, I think the first pass he threw was right to Andrews. And I'm like, all right, let's move the ball, baby. And just, get that red zone target in the end zone. And they just were never able to put anything together offensively.
Yeah.
And I mean, the Chiefs looked like the Chiefs of old. They were dominant. And that's a game that, we talked about it. It's like one of these teams is going to go 1-3. Which one's it going to be? Which team's going to try to, right the ship? And Kansas City
showed up.
They were home, but they certainly showed the hell up.
Yeah, and I think Lamar is 1-6 against Mahomes now.
Yeah.
So that's crazy.
Well, and it's like how much of that, like we talk about, demons. And like, how much is Mahomes just that type of quarterback to a lot of teams in the AFC? I know certainly Josh Allen with the Bills, like they haven't beaten him much either. Like, I think the only one that's actually beaten him was Burrow.
Yeah. Jalen's got a good record against him.
Yeah, but I mean, more so
the NFC.
And like my thing with the Ravens, I've said that before about them because this is shocking because like the regular season, it's Lamar's time. Like he beats, I figured he beats Chiefs here, but
then
doesn't
lose
do it in the playoffs.
Yeah,
but then obviously despite the injury, it was a bad game.
Oh yeah, they're getting blown out before that even happened.
Yeah. And their defense has the defensive tackles gone for the year now, and then everything else has just been bad on that defense altogether.
Well, and we talk about, I don't know the exact numbers, but I mean, Derrick Henry doesn't look the same as last year.
He's fumbled 3. Well, I don't think he fumbled that week, but he fumbled the 3 before that. Yeah,
he had the opportunity to fumble.
Yeah.
So he certainly hasn't looked impressive. Neither has their offense at all. And plus, like their defense, I know they're hurt, but they don't look good.
No.
So, another blocked kick in the Bears Raiders game.
Yeah.
So the
Bears on the winning side for once on one of these plays. Usually they get destroyed by those tragic games at the end or tragic kicks at the late in the game.
Yep. Yeah, I mean they were able to get it into field goal range for Carlson, and they just. And it's odd to see because usually the blocks are coming up the middle. This guy literally off of
off the edge
was able to get in there, put his hand on it, and block it. So impressive for the Bears there. As we mentioned before, Dallas and Green Bay ended in a tie.
Yeah.
Pickens looked good.
Yeah, Pickens looked great.
Pickens looked good, especially being we wondered we figured between Pickens and CD, it's going to open it up for one of them. Yeah. CD didn't play today, and Pickens still looked impressive.
Still looked good. Yeah.
Javonte Williams, another guy that has been good this year. We've talked about him being good. So it's just a matter of, all right, how many points can their offense score versus how many points is their defense going to give up?
Yeah, I mean, Dobbs looked like he was the number 1 receiver in football.
Yeah, that was my anytime touchdown guy.
Yeah,
I was like,
he
hey,
wasted all 3 of them.
yeah, I was like, like I did all right there.
He looked real good, but I mean, he also looks like an idiot with that.
Dude, they have to have. I think we've said it before, but they got to figure something out to make that look better.
Yeah,
I don't know if they got to do something
$1
like
organization.
I don't know if you can do something inside the helmet, but I don't know if it get too tight at that point. But it just looks ridiculous.
I mean, they had a couple guys wearing them.
Yeah,
there was 2 receivers.
He's had it since it's been out though, and the joke is it gets bigger every game. People are making the meme now, like it's like this,
every touchdown catch he has, it gets one side.
Yeah, that's it. Yes.
So obviously they end up in a tie, which I hate ties,
and it's almost 2 ties for Dallas. They almost tie with the Giants. Yeah, it's insane, dude. Like,
so they absolutely hate ties. I don't know.
I mean, they're trying to not allow them. They give the other team I guess that kind of gives them the opportunity.
I think it was
as if the other team scores first. And
Rich Eisen might have said that they need to make the overtime longer.
15 minutes.
That 15 minutes. That way they don't run into a tie because they would still have
basically
5
one
more
possession
minutes.
for each. And
he said you run
they
one
can
possession,
almost
8 minutes going.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah.
So, and then the last game of the week, or last 2 games of the week, I'm sorry. Monday night, you had the Jets against Dolphins. The Jets offense looks like complete trash. Another guy needed a touchdown from was Breece Hall. They weren't able to get the ball moving unless it was Breece Hall handing the ball off. He'd get 5 or 6 yards. Justin Fields just cannot pass the ball.
He had that one pass to Garrett Wilson that was sick.
Yeah, that was an amazing catch, though. Yeah.
It seems like if he ever has to step up or go to his second or third read, he's not doing it. He's not finding anybody open. He's running, and it kind of annoyed me because he breaks that 44-yard touchdown. I'm like, someone please tackle him.
Yeah.
But
get him down
clearly on bet or rooting for my bets to hit.
Yeah.
But that game was just frustrating because they couldn't do anything. Miami looked great. I guess the big loss here, Tyreek Hill basically breaks his leg just about.
Yeah, dislocated his knee and tore damn near every ligament.
It just stuck in the ground when he got tackled.
Yeah, it looked gross.
Yeah. So I think he had surgery today. I haven't heard if it's successful.
They said it was good. He was in good spirits, smiling.
Dude, he was having the time of his life when he got hurt.
Cheering when he got hurt. They were like, "Is he happy that he doesn't have to play anymore for the Dolphins?" I was like, "Probably." I mean, but yeah.
He found his way out of Miami.
He's an odd character for sure.
They're saying it may impact this time frame for next year, though, too. So we'll see.
With that type of an injury, it's like
someone said he'll never be the cheetah again because he might not be able to run the same. And I'm like,
it's like the Nick Chubb injury, right?
Well, he's done that a couple times.
Yeah, he had a couple bad ones.
Can he run from all his domestic violence charges he has?
Not anymore. They know exactly where he's at now. Maybe he'll stop reproducing.
Mm-hmm. And then the final game of the week, Broncos 28-3. Again, not very impressive.
Browning looks terrible.
He looked good the week 1 when he came in for Burrow, or I guess
against the Jags.
The rest of the game, but he has not looked impressive.
No.
And unfortunately,
any kind of pressure, he just can't do anything, even with their receivers. And
I mean, but you got Higgins and freaking Jamar Chase, and you can't get them. I mean, but his offensive line is just it's so bad. Yeah. And the Broncos D is pretty legit though.
Yeah.
I mean, Surtain's going to shut down any receiver.
They have a really good defense. So, let's get into our week 5 predictions. So the first game on Thursday night, we have Rams against Niners, both 3-1 in LA. I'm going to go with the Rams. I think the Rams are probably one of the best teams in the league right now.
Oh, sorry. That's right. My fault. I was sorry.
Good.
Yeah. So no, I'm also gonna go to the Rams after what we saw. Like the Niners still don't have everybody back, but after losing to the Jags, it's like I just think the Rams are obviously the better team there, and they're home. So
I'm going Rams as well.
All right. We have another Sunday morning game, 9:30. This one's, I believe, is in England, correct?
It's somewhere in Europe. Yeah.
I can't remember where they put this one.
So we got the Vikings against the Browns. The Browns are technically the home team. This is going to be an interesting one. I think the Vikings offense has moved the ball pretty well, but I don't think they've faced a defense like Cleveland. I'm interested in seeing how Wentz is going to do with an actual defense that he has to face. And he's prone to throwing picks, so I think that might play a big toll in this. I think the other wild card is, as we mentioned, Gabriel's not going to be starting quarterback for Cleveland. So what does that look like?
Yeah,
We don't. That's right. We don't know.
it can probably only get better. Joe Flacco threw one of the worst interceptions I think I've seen since.
Oh my God,
Carson.
wide open dude. Yeah. Yep.
So I think for this one, I'm gonna go with Cleveland.
I'm gonna go with Minnesota. I think there's just too much questions about what the Gabriel kid can do, and I mean the offense was not good with Flacco. I don't know if it really. I mean, it might improve, but I think the Vikings could pull it off.
Yeah, I'm going to take Minnesota as well. I think they look better than Cleveland has, and
Plus,
I mean,
they don't
yeah,
have to
we'll
travel.
see what Gabriel has,
Right.
Mhm.
Right.
and then if it's bad, then maybe Shador will be getting some time
just
here
go-
soon.
I mean, maybe they were onto something.
Yeah.
Let's get a
Quarterback
quarterback room
factory.
of 6 people, and one of them's got to be good,
Yeah,
right?
one's got to
Yeah.
pan out.
And if they don't work out, let's trade for Jameis.
Yeah.
So the next game, the Raiders 1-3 going to Indy to play the Colts, who are 3-1. I like the Colts. I think I've been very impressed with them this year. I
Yep.
think it's good to see Jonathan Taylor back to his old ways, especially for my fantasy team.
I'm gonna go Colts also. I mean, the Raiders did get Genty going last week, but Geno's just looked awful. He's just not been playing very well. Colts just ran into a better team that week. Now this week they're the better team at home, so I'm gonna ride the Colts on that one.
Yeah, I'm going Colts. Danny Dimes still looks good.
Yep.
Geno, I know everyone's kind of making the meme now. It might be time to write back Geno.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, I think Colts don't have an issue with this one.
So the next matchup we have the Jackson Dart Giants 1-3 going to the 0-4 Saints.
What an awful game.
So I'm surprised this would be a Monday night game last week if we were going off of team rankings.
Brutal.
So for this one, losing neighbors, I think a lot of Jackson Dart was him running.
Yeah.
And I think it's only a matter of time before, unfortunately, he probably gets hurt because he takes a hit here or there. He seems like he's very much like a Baker Mayfield type, especially young, where he's just going to throw his body wherever it needs to for the betterment of the team, but to the detriment of his body and himself.
And Scotty both.
Yeah. I mean, hand the ball off to Scotty. I mean, that kid looks like he's a monster, and he's looking for contact.
Yeah. He's running into contact, yeah.
Yeah, I think the Giants' defense is going to basically do whatever they want with the Saints, and I think the Giants are going to come away with the W there.
Yeah, I also have the Giants winning because the Saints are just going to get me. If I ever get them wrong, they're going to win when I didn't pick them. So because they're just terrible. They're just a bad team.
Yeah,
I don't know what they're doing at quarterback.
Yeah,
like I know our boy Moore's over there, but it's like, rather is obviously not the choice. The dude ain't won a game yet in his career.
He's 0-10. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, how do you when do you decide to just go? Okay, enough's enough. Let me play the guy I drafted.
Yeah, shook.
When does Kellen just put himself behind center again?
Yeah.
Right. Oh, yeah. Is that right? Can't be worse than what they're doing.
Yeah, I'm going to go Giants as well. I mean, they had an impressive win last week. They upset the Chargers. New Orleans, again, like we've all kind of just, beating a dead horse here, but they just don't look good. So,
nope.
So this will be a bad game.
Oh yeah.
This is not
find anything else.
Not going to find many highlights.
Luckily, at 1:00 you have a lot of other options.
Yeah.
So then moving on to, I mean, unless you're a Giants fan and you want to see like a victory, turn it on.
Yeah.
So, and shout out to Courtney there.
Their version of the exciting whites.
Yeah, right.
The Scatterbo. Next matchup, we have the 1-2-1 Cowboys against the 0-4 Jets. As we kind of mentioned before, I think the Cowboys offense is actually performing pretty well. I don't know what we're going to see out of the Jets. They're weird. It's like one game they're scoring 30 points and Fields looks like the next best thing. And then the next, mostly when I need touchdowns at Breece Hall, he looks like complete trash.
He at least looks like competent sometimes.
Yeah. So, but I know Dak is going to look like a elite quarterback, and I think the offense will certainly follow suit. Who knows what the defense is going to be able to do? But I don't see Justin Fields picking that defense apart or anything. So I'm going to go with the Cowboys with the win on the road.
So I think I got obviously we saw the Bears what they did to Dallas' defense, and obviously they still gave up 40 to the Packers. So that defense is still not figuring anything out. I think the Jets can because of Allen being hurt now, it's just Breece Hall. So like
So
Allen's
you're
out of
saying
the
I
way.
should take him this week?
I'm just saying.
Anytime
Oh, for
touchdown?
the carrier, anytime
Yeah.
touchdown. No, I think. I mean, Dak's going to score points too, but I mean, they've given up the 450 to Russell. They give up this. Justin Fields can potentially be. He played very well week 1,
Yeah.
and I'm going to go the Jets. Actually, I'm going to pick them.
Nice.
Yep.
I'm going Dallas. Again, I think their offense is good enough to outscore them. So I'm just going to roll with Dallas.
So our next matchup is our very own 1:00 game. The Denver Broncos, 2-2, traveling to Philly to play our Birds. As we talked about, I think Denver has a really good defense.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I'm sold exactly on Bo Nix and what he can do. I know Dobbins looked really good last week. He's looked good this year so far.
Yeah.
I still like our defensive line, though, to kind of stop him. And I don't see their receivers giving us much of a challenge. I don't know if Quignon's is going to travel Sutton around or.
Hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think, unfortunately, it's probably going to be one of those. Actually, no. You know what I'm going to go with here? AJ's been bitching and moaning all year. I think he's going to have a 8 reception, 140-yard, let's say 1 touchdown because they're going to distribute the ball. I think the offense is actually going to look good, so we're all high going into the Giants. Yeah, and I know that Denver has a good defense, but I think just with us looking like, all right, when's this passing game ever going to look good? I think this is the week they're going to actually do it. So I'm going to take the Birds here, and I think the passing game is going to be what we're taking away from this game as a victory.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think with how bad we've looked and because Denver's defense is so good, I mean, the only silver lining is we're home. So, I mean, obviously it's like, we do obviously play better, but I'm still worried that offense won't figure it out. I mean, Surtain is just too good of a corner.
Yeah.
He's just amazing. Like he's literally the number 1 corner every year. So, I mean, yeah, you could try to scheme up AJ to get open, but that guy's even whatever you scheme, that dude's going to be right there to block him. So I'm going to go Denver.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going Philly as well. At home, Denver, I don't believe in Bo Nix right now.
Yeah.
So I think the offense maybe can get it going. I kind of agree with Brock here that AJ is probably going to be shadowed by Surtain the whole game. So maybe Devontae will have something. Goddard again getting involved last week. Early on, that was nice. Hopefully this is the week that maybe Saquon can get going.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But yeah, I think Bird's got this one.
Cool. Another game that you can skip on your dial. We have the Dolphins traveling to Carolina to play the Panthers.
Thanks.
Yeah, both teams are 1-3. I don't know what I can't put anything behind the Panthers. I don't know what you're going to get out of them.
Yeah.
At least the Dolphins, for the most part, the running game looked pretty good the other day. Tua looked good, also moving the ball down the field. I'm going to go with the Dolphins here.
So I think despite even the Tyreek injury, I mean, they got Darren Waller going, who's quit his rap career and he's back in the league now. So he
surprising performance out of him.
had 2 touchdowns, and like you said, the running
The
game.
first one was impressive.
Yeah, it was a very nice catch.
It's actually a really good throw too out of Tua. Like kind of looked, the linebacker off or the cornerback off a little bit, but also had it in him to throw it up and above instead of just trying to force it in.
Because he's the size of Waller to just get over top of everybody else.
So it was a good pass and great catch, come down with both feet in. So yeah, it was impressive to see Ed Waller, who hasn't played in a while.
And the Panthers, they had the fluky game where they beat the Falcons. I still think even though they don't, like I said, despite Hill, Tua is the better quarterback of the two when he's healthy and in the game. So I think the Dolphins pull that off and win.
Yeah, I'm going to roll with Miami here as well. I think they're just the tallest midget out of Tua and Bryce Young.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe 7-0, 7-3 game.
Yep. So the last of the 1:00 slate, we have the 1-3 Texans going to play the 1-3 Ravens. I mean, without Lamar this week, Cooper Rush did not look good at all last week.
Yeah.
I know you're coming in, not necessarily prepared, but I mean that offense didn't look good against the Chiefs. The defense doesn't look good. Not saying that the Texans look good either, but I think that they're the healthier of the two teams, and I think the Texans are going to take the win there, even though they're on the road against the Ravens.
Yeah. Is Rush definitely starting?
I haven't heard, but
as far as I know, if he's the main backup guy. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
and like I said, it said for sure Lamar's hamstring is gonna have him out.
Yeah.
So for that game, I think the Texans pull it off. I just think, like, I mean, even though Cooper Rush has done it, with the Cowboys and he's used to backing up coming in, I think the Texans pull it off because of the Ravens just have too many questions. Defense is so bad, unless Henry goes nuclear. But I mean, they're not even using. They didn't even really use him last week. So I mean, I think the Texans can not. It's not going to be a blowout. They'll just eke away with a close victory.
Yep.
Actually, I'm going to change my mind. I'm going to go Baltimore.
Baltimore.
I don't trust the Texans at all. So I'm just going to go with Baltimore, but I don't expect to see a lot of highlights out of this game either.
Yeah. No. 4:00 slate. We have the 0-4 Titans going to the Arizona Cardinals, who are 2-2.
Some bad matchups this week.
Yeah, it's a bunch of bad matchups. So Cardinals 2-2. I don't know if they've looked very impressive at all either this year. But they're also playing the Titans, who look like ass, as some would say.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go with the Cardinals at home.
Yeah, I'm just going to go with the Cardinals simply because the Titans are just bad. There's just nothing there to even hang their hat on at all. The Cardinals just got to do their business at home and win that game.
Yep, I'm taking Arizona. I don't really have any notes on this game either, but probably, again, not another one you want to watch.
Yeah. Next 4:00 game, we have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 3-1, traveling to Seattle to play the Seahawks, who are also 3-1. I think the Buccaneers get back on the in the win column this week. They looked good against us last week, with the exception of, I think our defense just outplayed them for the most part. But I don't see Seattle's defense being able to stop Baker, and I think they're slowly but surely getting healthy too. I know Bucky had a little ankle injury, but I think he'll be fine this week.
They got Godwin back last week.
They got Godwin back, so kind of getting him back in there. And Ibuka, he looks like a fucking stud.
Yeah, he's amazing.
So, and yeah, I think the Buccaneers go on the road and big win against Seattle.
I'm also taking the Bucs here. I think they're just. I mean, Seahawks barely eked away with a field goal win over the Cardinals. So they just haven't looked really that good. I mean, Bucky Irvin, I think I just got to think he's going to be injured. They think he might not play, but they have White behind him, so they have another running back who can do the same thing he's doing. So I don't think they really fall. I think they just have a better team than the Seahawks.
Yeah, I'm going to go to the Bucs. Seattle hasn't really impressed me too much this year. Cooper Kupp hasn't really gotten anything going this year. So I'll go Tampa. All
right. 4:25 game. We have the 3-1 Lions going to Cincinnati to play the 2-2 Bengals. As I said, I think the Lions are one of the best teams in the league right now, and I don't see how the Bengals have an offense that can even come close. So I'm going to go with the Lions here on the road.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much that game it's the Lions should dog walk the Bengals. They have no offense of coverage at all for Browning.
I'm going Detroit as well.
Yeah. All right. 4:25, the Commanders 2-2 going to San Diego, LA, wherever the Chargers are playing nowadays. Chargers 3-1. So for this one,
is Jaden back?
I've not heard yet. McLaurin, I think would have a better chance, but I've not heard anything yet about Daniels. Yeah, they've not practiced yet this week, so I've not heard much anything on that.
So with that said, and the Chargers' performance last week, I think they get back on the right side of things, and regardless of if Daniels and McLaurin are back, I think the Chargers, Herbert's back on. They just look impressive again at home. Plus it'll help us out having another loss. Yeah, so I'm gonna go Chargers.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Chargers. I mean, like I said, there's just too many question marks with the Commanders. We don't know if they're gonna get both those guys back. Even if they do, how effective are they? Because they are clearly injured. So and the Chargers just have a more healthier team at this point going into it. So I think they're their homes. They take care of business on that.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm taking Chargers. We don't know if Daniel's playing, if McLaurin's playing. If it's Mariota, they just got dog walked by Atlanta last week, right? Like, giving up 180 yards to Bijan.
Yeah.
So I think Chargers are going to get right back on it.
Good. The Sunday night game, we have the 2-2 Patriots going to the 4-0 Bills in Buffalo. Patriots looked impressive last week, but I don't think they have any shot against the Bills. The Bills are probably, if not the Super Bowl favorite, they certainly are close to the Lions of being a Super Bowl favorite. So I think they go 5-0 Bills.
So I was going to say something similar. Like the Patriots have looked like they're getting better, and I mean they use a lot more of the rookie Henderson, so they're getting the people they want to use and figure some stuff out. But yeah, the Bills at home on a primetime game is just it's just scripted and not scripted, but it just seems like the Bills are just going to dominate that as they should.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Drake May's looked pretty good this year, but I think the Bills got it.
Yep,
they're just clicking right now.
All right, and another team that was clicking last week, the Kansas City Chiefs that are 2-2, Monday night traveled to Jacksonville to play the 3-1 Jaguars. I think this is a good test for the Jaguars to kind of see, the 3-1. Are they legit, or are they just kind of that, fake 3-1 that's competing for their, the South Division?
Yeah.
And also, is the Chiefs team the one that we knew of years past, or is it last week just a fluke because Baltimore's defense is that bad? So for this one, I am actually going to go with Jacksonville here at home against the Chiefs.
So I'm gonna go Chiefs. I think the way we saw how they looked with Worthy back, like obviously the Chiefs are getting healthy. I mean, like we said, the Jaguars basically just holding their division's ass. So like they look okay right now. None of us expect them to win this last game. So I'm gonna go with Chiefs. So they just look like they're getting in rhythm with Worthy and all those pieces there.
Yeah, I'm going KC as well. They looked good against Baltimore last week, so I think that they're going to keep it rolling and get back. They're back on their bullshit. Just to give you guys some updates on last week. So last week, Brian went 10-6, Brock went 7-9, I went 8-8. So year to date, Brian and I are actually tied at 42-20, and Brock is 37-25. So hopefully we can bump those numbers up, get back on it. But last week there was a couple different upsets, and then obviously the Dallas Green Bay game ended in a tie.
Yeah.
So
moving over to our Fraud Street podcast football league. Last week I played Tony. Ended up coming away with a W there, 135-100. So it brings my record to 2-2. Cameron, looking for you. You played Mike, and you were able to come away with a somewhat closer victory, 120-113.
Yeah, Jamar Chase, thanks. He only got 7. But losing Tyreek for this year, so that's tough. Sutton played well against Jamar Chase, so that's the only reason why I really won.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was not a good week. But pulled it out.
Yeah, I guess just looking at mine, I went up against Bo Nix, who dropped 34, so that was compared to my golf, who only had 16, even though he scored 34, a little tough. But Jefferson scored 27. James Cook has been solid this year. He scored 27. And then 19 out of my defense, which was pretty good to see. And then Brock, what'd you end up with this week?
So I barely won, 159.08 to 158.98.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Oh wow, by 0.01.
Oh yeah, I got very
0.1,
I got very very close. I mean, obviously, I had Jordan Love, who always plays good against the Cowboys, so he got 37.
What Monday night matchups do we have in here that you guys were? Oh, he had Tua.
Yeah, but then he had Tua at 19 points. So I was lucky that their last drive, all they had to do was kneel it or run it. They weren't doing anything there. But I survived. He had Nakua had 41.
Yeah.
But then I had 2 running backs who had 30 plus. I had Genti and Irving.
Yep.
And Jigba got 13, Pittman 15. His kicker, he had the Tampa Bay kicker though, so that dude went off for 18.
Yeah.
And then unfortunately, I thought with how bad Atlanta looked, I said, well, let me go ahead and stream Washington's defense.
Mm.
They did not do as good, but
yeah, I mean that's tough, especially for Tim. Scoring 158, you're the second highest in the league, and you catch an L. which is, I always hate to see that when, it happens to me. So that brings our standings out to Cam, you're still in first with a 4-0. Brock, you're in second, 3-1. Look at you guys, table mates.
I want to note that this league said that the projections said I was only got 3 wins this year.
3 wins,
and I have 3 already.
Well, you got them. So you're done.
So I'm done. I may never win again.
Just from here.
Yeah. Give me a receiver.
I'm sitting here at a 2-2 record, currently in 7th place.
Yeah, I do need some receivers though. So if you all are listening out there, send me some trades.
Yeah,
I'm running with Sutton and Jameson Williams, and then I picked up Thornton from Kansas City. So it's not great. Cooper Kupp again hasn't really done well, and then obviously losing Tyreek to the IR.
Devontae sucked for me, so I don't know if you want him for somebody. I don't know.
Yeah, I'll trade you Kyle Pitts for him.
I was gonna say I have AJ Brown on my team, and
you have him. You have him and Jefferson, right?
Yeah. Yep. So, but yeah, we'll look forward to next week. I think this week, who do I play? I have Adam, and then Brock. You are playing Tyler, a D+ draft grade.
Okay, yeah, I just had it up.
Pretty sure half the league got D+. So.
My quarterback's on a bye.
Some of us got A+.
Yeah,
some of us got A+. Yeah, and then Cam, you're playing against Jeff.
So. Yeah.
We'll see how long that A+ works with no receivers.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just Josh Allen and Saquon.
Hey, there you go.
But like I was mentioning, like just to note, because so Atlanta Falcons, Chicago Bears, Green Bay Packers, and Steelers are all on bye. So buys are starting. And obviously we got the international games, their buys. There'll be buys after that when they come back to the States.
So you just mentioned
Jordan, he's playing. He'll be on a bye next week. Jordan Love is who I mentioned. Jordan Love for me though is out this week. So
yep.
Yeah, the bye teams this week are Atlanta, Chicago, Green Bay, and Pittsburgh are all on bye this week. So it's the first week of buys.
Gotcha.
They start rolling through now.
Yep. So all right, well that concludes our episode. So looking forward to next week we'll know who the Phillies are playing. At that time, next time we talk to everybody, we'll already be 2 games into our series. So hopefully 2 dubs by the Phils, but we'll see. I think either team we go up against, it's going to be tough. Obviously, the Dodgers being more so. But yeah, looking forward to some exciting baseball. So far, the games have been pretty good so far. All very close pitching duels where, as we mentioned before, it's like small ball and, making less mistakes is going to be key.
Yeah. I mean, this is kind of like opening day, right? Like all the aces are on the mound.
Yeah.
For your team. So not many runs being scored this week so far, or today at least. Red Sox are currently up 2-1 on the Yankees in the top of the 9th. So see if the Red Sox pull it out.
Yeah. All right. And don't forget to hit us up on the socials if you guys have anything you want us to talk about or, want to join up on our fantasy league next year for baseball. And let us know who you think is going to make it through the wild card round and advance in the playoffs. So, cheers, everybody.
Cheers,
thanks,
guys. Thank you.